Hello everyone, this is Showtime 112. The Kingdom of Yugoslavia was formed in 1918, and it was initially called the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes until 1929. As the approach of World War II became obvious, just like many other European countries, it was struggling between loyalty to the Axis powers and the Allies. On 25 March 1941, Yugoslavia formally joined the Axis. But 2 days later, a British-supported military coup brought down the government as a reaction. While the agreement with the Axis powers wasn't formally terminated, it still made Hitler furious, and plans for an invasion of the country were immediately set in motion. The German attack began on 6 April 1941. Germans didn't expect much resistance from the country burdened by many internal problems. That included its air force, which on paper sounded like a formidable service nevertheless. A serious modernization began around 1937 with purchases and license production deals from 3 different countries. The subject of these purchases were some very modern aircraft for the time. Hawker Hurricane Mark I and Bristol Blenheim were acquired from Britain. From Germany, Dornier Do-17 bombers and Messerschmitt Bf-109E fighters were purchased. Italy supplied Savoia Marchetti S-79 bombers. There was even a relatively modern, locally designed IK-3 fighter produced in small numbers. Besides obvious logistical problems caused by variety in equipment, the Royal Yugoslav Air Force was also troubled by inadequate pilot training, especially in tactics and gunnery, poor leadership, and lack of early warning and communication systems. Also, not all of the fighter units were upgraded with Hurricanes or Messerschmitts. The 5th Fighter Regiment was still equipped with 30 outdated Hawker Fury biplanes. This British fighter first took off exactly 10 years earlier. Its metal construction was the only significant difference from World War I fighters, and it stood no serious chance against modern types. 15 Furies belonging to 36th Squadron were deployed to an airport near Kumanovo in modern-day Northern Macedonia. For several days before the German invasion, the Furies were trying to intercept German reconnaissance aircraft, but without success. As German troops moved across the border on the early morning of April 6th, the pilots of 36th Squadron were on high alert, with 2 Furies in the air and the rest of the pilots in their cockpits with engines running. Despite the defenders' alertness, German attack was still overwhelming. About 30 Messerschmitt Bf-109s and Bf-110s from Lehrgeschwader 2 and Zerstörergeschwader 26 attacked the airfield. 1 Fury was destroyed in the strafing along with some older aircraft types, while others managed to take off. Once in the air, they soon found themselves at disadvantage under relentless German attacks. The battle lasted for less than 10 minutes, and in the end, 11 Furies were destroyed or crash-landed. Seven Yugoslav pilots were killed and 1 was wounded. Four of the Furies were claimed by Lieutenant Friedrich Geishardt, while Oberleutnant Erwin Clausen claimed 3. But the Germans still paid a price for their success. The exact number and type of German aircraft claimed by Yugoslav side varies from source to source, but at least 1 Bf-109 and 2 Bf-110s were lost, which is confirmed by German records. At least 2 and possibly all 3 of them were downed by Fury pilots' ramming attacks. They were performed by Russian-born Captain Konstantin Yermakov against the Bf-110, Captain Vojislav Popovic against another Bf-110, and Lieutenant Milorad Tanasic, who was credited with an enemy fighter, probably a Bf-109 flown by Oberfeldwebel Heinz Eckhardt. This is not the first ever reported ramming attack, but this practice would later become quite common among Soviet pilots. This channel covered the story in a video which you probably missed, and you can click on the suggestion at the end of this video to watch it. Most Yugoslav Furies were destroyed during the Axis invasion of the country, except for 2 which were eventually captured by Italians. The type proved inadequate against a superior enemy, and it only achieved success when desperate ramming attacks were employed. If you liked the video, don't forget to press the like button. Become a Patreon supporter or donate on PayPal, because your support is needed to keep the channel in business. Thank you and keep watching Showtime 112.